Alright, since we keep getting a lot of questions in the Discord about what video card people should be looking at, I figured I would go ahead and run a little test since I'm, well, PIO and can't help but do some testing. So, what we have here is we have BeamNG. This is just the stock game, but it is running on my old machine. That is a Ryzen 5800X and 32 gigs of RAM. And that right there is an RX 580 8GB video card. I pulled the 6900 XT out just for this test. So, the question is how does it do on BeamNG? Why don't you have a seat there next to me? And let's find out. So, first of all, I'm going to go ahead and use the mouse here. We're going to use Ultra Graphics. Oh, my bad, you're not looking in the right spot. So, it's that way, silly. Okay, so we're going to choose the Ultra Graphics settings. We are at 1920 by 1080, 60 hertz. So that's what most of you are probably running. So let's see how it does on the hardest stock map in the game. Let's go to West Coast. And we're going to go ahead and go to the default spawn. Now, Hector, I'm hoping that this video appeases to you. I am doing this unedited, and also partially to your benefit because this system is very, very similar to your 5600 Ryzen. Okay, so I know that lettering is kind of small. I can read it off here while I'm playing, and in a moment I'll go ahead and pick up the camera and show you. But right now we're looking at about 44 frames per second. We're going to go ahead and start driving. And we're at 56. It has not gone down yet. 52. 56. So this is probably a plus 45 FPS experience, I would say. I saw 61 there for a second. 48. Like it's solid. Now, I couldn't stop in time. There's no way. All right. Anyway. Okay, the buttons are all messed up. Now, that's all fine and dandy, Pio. I hear you. I hear you. It's all fine and dandy because that's just one car on the screen, right? It gets more difficult as you spawn in more cars, like when we're in BeamMP, the multiplayer. So, what's it like with more cars? Let's spawn in, I don't know, 16 of them? Or it might be 8. It's either 8 or 16. Either way, it's a pretty big number. 36, 32, 35, 40, 40, 44. It's still more than playable. It's definitely a little lower on the frame rate. I can definitely feel it a little bit. But it's not bad. 40. It is doing this just fine. 36. I might maybe want to drop it down to high settings instead of ultra. Maybe. With a lot of things going on. But I'm doing a police chase right now. They're trying to stop me. And I'm on ultra with lots of AI. And I'm not having any problems playing this game at all. Here, let's go ahead and 44 frames per second. Here, I'll go ahead and I'll show you. Like, I'm not making these numbers up. This is solid. This is a solid experience. Let's keep driving, I guess. They kind of caught me, but whatever. Because I stopped. You know why I pulled you over? Yeah, because I let you. Yeah, the performance is fantastic on this video card. Now, is this a plus 60 FPS experience? No, absolutely not. But it's easily a plus 30 FPS experience. And so I would say the bare minimum video card requirement to be able to play this game on ultra graphics, just the preset ultra, 1920 by 1080, I think is going to be either an RX 580 or a GTX 1060. Now I'm also using almost 8 gigs of VRAM. So that is also something to take into consideration here. I'm using 7.8 gigabytes of VRAM right at the moment. Here, I'm going to stop and I'm going to show you. So right up there, GPU memory utilization, fourth one from the bottom, 7850 megabytes. So that's a lot of video RAM. So that is definitely something to keep in mind. You definitely want either the 6 gig 1060 or the 8 gig 580. Because there's a 3 gig 1060 and there's a 4 gig 580. So you don't want either of those as a bare minimum for ultra graphics anyway. That 8 gigabytes of VRAM is definitely helping. But otherwise, this card itself, even though it's like bottom budget tier card, it's doing a fantastic job. So for any of you guys asking, will this card play this game? This is an RX 580 8 gigabyte playing this game on maximum graphics at 1080p, and it's absolutely playable. So anything higher than that will do fine. That is all. Pio out.